friends, and welcome to all the new subscribers. As part of the Cutting Compound series, I've been taking the compounds that have either been on the podium at one time or down in the honorable mention section out into the shop, showing you some real world work, which gives you a better look at the compound and what it can do, rather than just leaving it to the testing we have done on a test panel. So today we're going to take a closer look at 3D HD Cut Plus. I have a really good vehicle that I'm working on to capture some footage with the 3D HD Cut Plus, and I can also add some tips and tricks for working on soft clear coat. Let's get it done. Today we're working on a Jag XK8. We have swirl marks to remove, and we're going to prep it for a ceramic coating. We're going to use the 3D HD Cut Plus. The marks are what I call love marks, just from regular car care, not from a car wash. However, these love marks are on a clear coat that is so soft, if you sneeze in its direction, you're going to scratch it. Today, we're going to use the 3D HD Cut Plus, and I'm going to team that up with either the Eurofiber pad or just a Lake Country microfiber cutting pad. This finish is soft, very touchy. I'm going to give you some pointers throughout the video as to how to deal with softer clear coats and finishes. After some consideration, I went with the Lake Country microfiber cutting pad instead of the Eurofiber pad. Had these love marks been on any other car, any other clear coat, I might have gotten away with just a two-step. But on the softer clear, there's going to be some multiple steps. We're going to cover them as we go on, but I'm going to start off with using the 3D HD Cut Plus, a microfiber pad, and I'm going to get the cutting done in one pass. That's going to keep the time down on the corrections so I can make another trip around the car towards the end. I'll show you what that's going to be. Absolutely necessary for clear coat that is as soft as this. Sometimes with softer clears, I'll just cut with a polishing pad. However, it doesn't matter what compound or pad combination I had chosen. There's going to be some hazing left behind after the first two steps. There's going to be hazing left behind even after an ultra-fine polish and whatever pad you may choose to team up with that. It's only after the final step where hazing is completely removed and we're ready for protection. This package was left over to do however many trips it takes around the car to get it to as close to perfection as we can get it, and with that balance of leaving as much clear coat behind to protect the color underneath as possible. Okay, so this time instead of wiping off the compound residue and then bringing you in, I'm going to set the polisher down and bring you in and show you that really doesn't matter what compound or polish you choose. It can be a bear to remove from the softer clear coats. It just likes to absorb or hold on to that residue. If you remember the initial testing on the test panel, the first video we did covering the 3D HD Cut Plus, the residue was user-friendly, very easy to wipe off. That is a harder clear. On the softer clears, it can be a job. You'll see here it's quite hazy, but don't leave the haze and some of the residue that is left behind there. Don't put that against the compound. It is a quality compound. This is going to happen. It's common on this type of finish. But it's very effective at cutting. It got rid of the swirls completely, and here I'm going to show you. I took care of the hood. I did two steps on the hood here before I showed you. I cut it, and I also followed up with a polish. It's going to be one more step, and I'm going to explain that later as to how to bring out the most clarity, the best gloss and shine that you will see at the end of the video. By the way, the polishing step was done with Angel Wax Redemption Ultra Fine Polish and a black application or finishing pad, the softest you can grab. I wanted to quick show you also, we put the low profile pad and long throw polisher to the side. I got out my little 10X, which I like using, gives me a break from that awkward long throw polisher. And I attached a Buff and Shine microfiber pad. This pad here has cushion and conforms to the nice curvy fender. This in turn gives me more coverage from the pad to the surface of the paint, and I actually get more cutting done with this little pad and polisher had I kept going with the Lake Country and the long throw polisher, if that makes sense. I will take some time and cover the Torque 10FX here and the 22D in a little bit more detail. I did show them doing some work. We're going to crack these puppies open, and I'm going to show you the innards. I'm going to lay to waste my warranty so you don't have to, and you can see what these things are made of. We're also going to do the same with the Max Shine 15 millimeter and the 21 millimeter, and also the mini or the nano polisher that can be attached to the rotary. The only negative with the 10FX here, that's the high pitch whine like a little jet engine. That's why I brought you in close so you could hear it. In case you're looking to buy something small and compact and easy on your arms and shoulders to give you a break from those larger polishers. It works well, has plenty of power, fits in some small places. You can attach a 3-inch backing plate to it as well. I'm going to show you that when we take a closer look at it. It gets used hard in a week's time. It gets used daily, just like the other polishers, and none of them miss a beat. Okay, that's going to do it. It's only going to take one pass, crisscross pattern, and a second pass will not be needed. I'm going to wipe off the residue and bring you in and show you that the 3D HD Cut Plus with this pad and this polisher did a great job on the fender, just like the other combination did on the hood. And we're only going to need one trip around the car for this step here. Swirls, imperfections gone, only thing left behind, slight hazing. Okay, so one more area that we can demonstrate the 3D HD Cut Plus, the trunk. It's nice and flat, it's large. We're going to pick out a nice test area. Back to the long throw and the Lake Country microfiber cutting pad. That's going to help me blaze through this sizable trunk lid. Okay, so now I have a chance to get into how to get rid of the hazing altogether and prep the paint for some type of protection. After you're finished with the ultra-fine polishing and the softest pad you can get, put that away, grab a soft microfiber application pad and something in the tunes of Angel Wax Perfect Polish. It's what I use. It is a polish with very minor abrasives. It's also a cleaner, so it's going to help me clean out the residue from that soft clear coat, and it's also going to help me with its fine abrasives polish it and fine tune it and bring out the best clarity we can get before adding some protection. I'm going to take that microfiber application pad, put a few drops of the Angel Wax Perfect Polish. I'm going to do one panel at a time. I'm going to go in straight lines and I'll polish it by hand very softly. Make sure the entirety of the panel that I'm working on is covered. It's going to wipe off rather easy as long as you have a 300 GSM or higher. You don't have to worry about marring again. Practice the residue control that I've showed you in a lot of my videos and you'll be fine. We're going to work panel by panel. When you get to the larger sections like the roof or the hood, do half of the hood, half of the roof, half of the large trunk. And when you're completely around the car, all that needs to be done is an IP wipe to clean off any remaining residue before we can lay down some protection. And as you can see here, the 3D HD Cut Plus removed the swirl marks. All that's left behind is some very slight hazing. I went ahead and cut the entire trunk lid. All right, so this is the entire vehicle has been completely cut, and I made a trip around with the ultra-fine polish and the finishing, the black finishing pad. And then, after the final go around with the Angel Wax Perfect Polish, a microfiber application pad, followed up by an IP wipe, I backed it outside, and we are ready to protect. It has been blown off with forced air. It's been freshly washed. As you can see, the water rolling from underneath the car. We're about to pull it back in. I'm going to mask it off, and we're going to lay down the coating. My final thoughts on softer clear coat. You think it would be a quicker, easier correction? Well, the cutting part is quicker. However, you have to add an extra step or two on the other end of the correction, the finishing and polish, especially if you want that perfect glaze, gloss, and reflection. All right, guys, again, that was the 3D HD Cut Plus. This was on the podium early on. However, it's still down in the honorable mention section. Not a knock on the compound, it's just where I have it. I find it has just a little bit less cut, a little bit less the bite than some of the other top compounds. However, it did great on the softer clears. That's what I use it for. Cuts well, no dusting, residue easy to remove, and overall a very good compound. If you have any questions at all on the video today, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.